Hello and welcome back to PSD Tuts Plus. My name is Martin Perhiniak, and today I'm going to start a short mini-series about actions in Photoshop. Actions can save you a lot of time and you can record whatever you want into an action. So basically, if you want to repeat the same steps from one image to another, you can save that into an action. I would like to show you a couple of examples before we learn how to work with them. And in this tutorial, which is the first part of this mini-series, I would like to make sure you will understand everything that you can do in the Actions panel. In the second tutorial, we will see a real-life example how to record a bit more complicated action. In the third one, I'm going to show you how to work with the CS6 new feature to be able to record brush strokes. And in the last part of the series, I'm going to show you all the other automated processes in Photoshop. So let's get started by just simply using a default action on an image. So I just opened up this image in Photoshop and I have the Actions panel open. If you don't know where to find this panel, you just need to go to the Window menu and here you can find Actions. Once you open that, you will see a set of default actions, which is organized into a folder. You can create your own folders and then you can save your own actions into that. But first of all, let's just try one of these default actions. I'm going to choose sepia toning on a layer, and that layer is my background layer. To be able to start this action, I just need to click on play here at the bottom. There is also a useful keyboard shortcut. If you hold down Command or Control and click on the action, it will start the action. It is actually a double click, so Command or Control and double click on the selected feature, or just simply click on the play button. As you can see, after running this action on the image, we already have two new layers here in the Layers panel. We have a layer, let me just turn off the adjustment. So you can see we have a layer, a black and white version or grayscale version of the original layer. And then on top of that, we have a hue saturation adjustment layer clipped onto this black and white version. Now, to see what happened in the background, we can go to the History panel. And let me just extend this. And as you can see, after opening the document, Photoshop went through all these steps by its own. So it created a new layer, it's used the stamp visible option, then it desaturated that layer, and then it created a hue saturation layer, adjustment layer, which has been also clipped onto the layer below it. So all these steps were completely automated. And the great thing in this is that you can open any images, no matter what size is the image, no matter what format is it in, you can always run the same action on it. So you can imagine if you have a complicated effect, which you save as an action, you can always reuse it later on. And once you save an action, you can even use it for batch processing images, which means you can select like 20 to 100 or even more photographs from Bridge, and then just run the same action onto them. This can really save you a lot of time. Now, as I said, I would like to show you what are the options here in the Actions panel, apart from starting an action. This icon here is to record an action. Then next to that, we have the Create New Action. The last one in the row is to delete an action. We can create a new folder for our actions, and that's what I'm going to do now. I will click on this, and I'm going to call this PSD Tuts Plus. And this is where I'm going to save my actions. So let me just show you a quick example how to, let's say, resize all the images into a specific size and save that as an action. So once I have my folder, I just need to click on the new icon here to create the action. I'm going to call this Resize to Thumbnail. Let's say I want to create thumbnails for my website. Okay, so as I created that action, I just pressed enter, and I already have this being recorded. You don't need to worry, it doesn't record the time that you spend between steps. It just records the steps. So next time when it will run, it will just quickly go through all the steps that you saved. So what I would like to do, all I would like to do on this one is to go to the image size option. And here I'm going to specify the size. I would like to use a 150, but in this case I'm just simply going to use 150 here for the width, and I'm keeping a constraint on the proportions, so it will resize the height accordingly. So that's all I want to do. And now in CS6 we have this new feature, the bicubic automatic, which automatically recognizes this is a reduction of size, so it will use the bicubic sharper interpolation. So we don't have to worry about that. Make sure that you have resample image turned on, and then we can click on OK. Now you can see we created the thumbnail view, and that's all what we need for this action, so we can already stop the action. So I'm going to stop it. And I can close this resize to thumbnail action, and let me just open another image. So here we have another photograph, and I'm going to select the same action. Remember, Command or Control double click will run the action, and that's our thumbnail view. Let's just compare it with the other image. So that's the thumbnail we created first, and that's the other thumbnail we created second time. So instead of going through the image size option for each of the documents, I can just simply use the action that we created. But even better than that, we can even assign a keyboard shortcut to this action, just to make it even faster. So to be able to do that, you need to go to the panel options under the Actions panel and choose Action Options. Here you can specify a function key to this action. So I'm going to use, let's say, F3 and Shift and Command together. We can even add the color to it. If it's something that we use most of the time, then we can mark it with, let's say, red color. So once I have this all set up, I can click on OK. And let me just go back in history to the original size of this image. Okay. And now here in the Actions panel, you can see that we have the keyboard shortcut visible in the Actions panel, which is great. So I just simply need to, I can even close this panel, just simply need to press that keyboard shortcut, Command Shift or Control Shift on PC, F3. And as you can see, without me doing anything else apart from pressing a keyboard shortcut, Photoshop will follow my instructions saved into the action. This is all what I wanted to show you in this tutorial as the basics of working with actions, but there's so much more possibilities here, like creating stop actions and re-recording actions, or using them as batch processes. So if you want to learn more, make sure that you join me in the following parts of this mini-series. But for now, thanks a lot for your attention, and see you soon.